Welcome, brave soul, I am the Forgotten Storyteller. Before we begin, tap that like button if you dare, and drop a comment below telling me where in the world you're listening from. And if you make it to the end of this video, I hope to see you in the next story. I hope you're ready, because I am. Let's begin. They said it was just a doll. Just a piece of plastic, painted and posed for collectors. But then it wrote its own return address. And when the package arrived, it wasn't just wrapped in paper. It was wrapped in someone's last prayer. Our story today begins with a voice. A trembling, desperate voice on yellowed paper. A letter written by someone who knew, who felt that their time was running out. The camera flickers to life. We see Mia Chen, her dark hair pulled back, her face gaunt but composed, the kind of calm that only comes after staring too long into the abyss. She speaks to her viewers, her voice steady, yet carrying the weight of sleepless nights. She says, "Welcome back to Haunted Collectibles. Today we have something different. Something I didn't ask for. It came in the mail this morning. No sender. Just this seal." She holds up the thick, wax-sealed package. The wax glistens in the light, stamped with a symbol, 3 spirals inverted, curling into each other like claws. Beneath it, faint scratches as though something inside tried to dig its way out. Mia cuts the wax. Inside she finds the letter. She reads it aloud. The handwriting is jagged, uneven, the script of a man whose hands shook as he wrote. "It's watching me from the shelf. And it's getting bigger." The name, Jason Reed, 22, Oregon. "I bought this Labubu at a flea market. The seller was old, his voice a rasp. He whispered, 'It chooses who opens it.' I laughed. I shouldn't have. At first it just moved, not much. Just enough to make me doubt myself. Then it started appearing in my dreams. I hear it breathing at night. My room is always cold. My cat won't go near it. Last week I woke up with dirt under my nails. The doll was gone. I found it in the woods behind my house, buried up to its neck. It was smiling. I sealed it in a box. I taped it shut. I threw it in the river. It came back, dripping wet, still smiling. I can't destroy it. I can't sleep. And now it's growing. I measure it every day. And it gets taller, just a little taller. Please take it. Study it. Just don't let it watch you alone." At the bottom, his name is scrawled. "Jason Reed, if I'm still me when you read this." Mia lowers the paper. Her hand trembles, though she tries to hide it from the camera. "I get letters like this often," she says. "But not like this. Not with this inside." She reaches into the package. The air feels heavier, charged, as though the room itself leans closer. She lifts the doll. It's about 10 inches tall. Painted in strange symbols, smeared in what looks like dried, flaked blood. One eye is missing, replaced with a black marble, glossy, reflective, almost alive. The other eye seems dull, drained of light. At its base is the inverted triskelion again, carved deep into the plastic. But beneath it are 3 desperate scratches, like fingernails clawing from within. Mia holds it up to the camera. "This isn't a custom," she whispers. "This is a ritual object." The room temperature dips. The camera glitches. And for just a second, the doll's missing eye seems to move, tracking her. The video cuts. Later that night, Mia brings the doll to Dr. Elena Cruz, a parapsychologist and old ally in her investigations. They begin tests. Thermal scan. The doll emits no heat, but the room around it drops nearly 10 degrees when it's near. EMF readings. Off the charts, spiking violently whenever Mia turns her back to it. They take X-rays. The doll is hollow. Its chest cavity filled with fine black sand. And embedded within, a fragment of bone, too small to be human, too wrong to be animal. Material analysis. The paint contains human bone ash, but there are also elements unknown to Earth. Audio test. When placed under a high-frequency microphone, the doll emits a low chant, reversed, distorted. The cadence matches an ancient Taoist binding ritual, but it's playing backwards. Dr. Cruz listens, pale, horrified. "This wasn't made," she says. "It was awakened." The days pass. Mia continues her research, but the shadows grow longer, her eyes heavier. The doll has not moved, at least not on camera. But Mia begins to dream. A forest fog black as ink. The ground soft, damp, pulsing as though alive. Hundreds of Labubu dolls sit in a circle, chanting in a guttural, grinding tongue. Their voices low, animalistic, yet rhythmic, like something ancient remembering its name. At the center of the circle rises a colossal figure. It's tall and eyeless. Its limbs too many, twisting and stretching like roots. its body bound by glowing chains, crackling with symbols older than memory. A voice whispers through the fog. She is the key. You are the door. Mia wakes screaming. The doll is no longer on the shelf. It is on her pillow. Facing her, its black marble eye glinting in the dark. The footage shows nothing. No movement. Just a cut. One frame, it's on the shelf. The next, it's beside her face. That same night, she opens the USB drive found in the package. It's labeled, "Watch Alone." It knows when you're not. The file plays. It's Jason. He's pale and gaunt. His hands tremble as he grips the camera. Behind him, the Labubu sits on his desk. "I tried to burn it," Jason says. "The fire wouldn't catch. I smashed it with a hammer. My hand went numb for hours. I think it's learning. It's learning how to move on its own." The lights flicker. The camera shakes. The doll turns. Its head twists 180 degrees. Jason screams, raw, primal, terrified. The screen cuts to static. For a moment, silence. Then one final frame. The doll's mouth opens. Inside, rows of needle-like teeth glisten. Mia stares at the screen, her face drained of color. She whispers into the mic. "It's not a vessel. It's a larva. It's not getting bigger. It's becoming something else." The next video begins with Mia setting up her equipment. The angle is harsher than before, her movements jerky, impatient. There are strips of tape on the wall behind the display case, marked with height measurements. She places the doll against it, 10.2 inches. The following morning, she repeats the test, 10.5 inches. The footage rewinds and replays. She shows the timestamp to her audience. The growth is undeniable. It isn't the shifting of plastic, nor the trick of camera angles. The doll is stretching. Its form subtly warping, the seams of its body straining like skin pulled too tight. At night, her security camera captures faint twitching. Not enough to be considered movement, more like muscle spasms, like something inside pressing against its shell. The black sand in its chest cavity begins to leak, pouring slowly through hairline cracks. Mia collects it in a dish. The grains writhe on their own, forming tiny patterns, spirals, scratches, and once unmistakably an eye. The inside of the glass display case shows claw marks now, not etched from the outside but raked from within. Mia's tone grows more frantic with each recording. "This isn't a haunting," she whispers. "It's gestating." On the third night, Mia wakes to a sound, a whisper. She drags the audio logs onto her laptop, amplifying them. At exactly 3:33 a.m., there is a clear voice. It doesn't come from her. It doesn't come from the room. It comes from inside the doll. Soon. Mia stiffens. She runs the waveform through analysis. The voice matches the signature of Jason Reed's voice, but layered. Beneath it, another voice vibrates, too deep, too ancient, resonating through the frequency like the growl of tectonic plates. She calls Dr. Cruz, panicked. They study the triskelion symbol again, tracing its lines, the scratches beneath. Dr. Cruz's voice shakes as she realizes the truth. This isn't just a binding mark. It's not meant to contain. It's a seal. A birth seal. When it breaks, when it completes, the entity inside will finish its form. Mia asks, "Finish what?" The doctor hesitates. "Not what? Who?" It wasn't sent to be studied. It was sent to be born. The final entry is chaotic, fragmented. Mia sets up her room like a fortress. 360 degrees cameras line the walls. Infrared monitors hum, wires snake across the floor. At the center of it all sits the doll, locked in a sealed glass case, the edges lined with salt and iron. Candles burn in a circle around it. Mia speaks to her viewers with the solemnity of a confession. "If you're watching this, something went wrong. Maybe I'm gone. Maybe it's out. But someone has to know what happened here." Her eyes glisten with exhaustion, fear, and something darker, acceptance. The timestamp reads 3:33 a.m. The lights flicker once, then again. Then dim until the cameras are the only glow left. The temperature drops. Breath fogs before the lens. Inside the case, the doll convulses. Its chest bulges, seams splitting, black sand bleeding out like liquid. The glass doesn't shatter. It melts, sagging inward as though dissolved from the inside. The doll steps out. It is taller now. 14 inches. Its limbs stretch unnaturally, elongating like wet clay. Its head tilts, its jaw unhinging wider than bone should allow. It turns directly toward the camera. And it smiles. The smile cracks across its face, ripping the paint, stretching the plastic. Inside, rows of slick, needle-like teeth glisten in the flickering light. The voice comes again, but louder, layered with 100 others, Jason's among them, each voice struggling against the other in unholy harmony. Thank you for letting us in. The audio peaks. The cameras distort. For a moment, a shadow unfurls across the walls. A shape too massive to belong to the doll, too many limbs, a presence that shouldn't fit in the room but does. Then everything goes dark. When the recording resumes, it is hospital footage. Mia lies unconscious in a bed, monitors beeping faintly. Her face is pale, her wrists marked with bruises like restraints. She has no memory of the last 12 hours. Her apartment is gone. It's empty. Not destroyed, not vandalized, just empty. The doll, the cameras, the iron line case, even Dr. Cruz, vanished. The police find no sign of forced entry, no trace of struggle. Just one anomaly. On Mia's laptop, a video was uploaded automatically. It plays. A dark room lit only by static glow. At the center, the Labubu sits, taller now. Its eye gleams with intelligence, its mouth dripping with anticipation. Behind it, shadows gather. Shapes emerge. Dozens of Labubu figures. Each different, each moving, each watching. The text fades in white against the dark. We are no longer alone. Then, as the final note, another package fades into view. It's sealed, addressed with one simple label. Next viewer. A week later, Mia uploads one final message. Her voice is ragged, her face haggard, haunted. I thought I could study it. But you don't study a virus. You quarantine it. Or you become it. She stares into the lens, her eyes red-rimmed with sleeplessness. If you have a Labubu, check its eyes. If one is darker than the other, burn it, bury the ashes, and never ever let it watch you sleep. She deletes her channel. The feed cuts to black, but not for long. A surveillance clip plays in silence. A toy store in Seoul. A clerk opens an unmarked package. Inside, a Labubu doll. Its eyelids flutter. Its lips twitch. It blinks. Fade to black. A whisper crawls across the silence, intimate and suffocating. We see you. Every doll is only one breath away from opening its eyes. The screen fades back in. This time it's not Mia. It's text. Archival fragments, grainy stills, pieces of lore stitched together like evidence in a cold case. A voiceover, not Mia's, reads the fragments. Something deeper. A voice that doesn't quite belong to a single throat. The Labubu entity is not a toy. It is a larval state. A fragment of Hei Yen Jija, the one with black eyes. It is not born all at once. It is seeded, splintered, scattered into forms that can be accepted into homes, cradled, collected. Every doll is a host. Every host is a womb. And every witness becomes a participant. The artist who first sculpted its shape believed he was inspired by dreams. But dreams are doors. And some doors open both ways. The more eyes upon the doll, the faster it grows. Your fear is its food. Your attention is its oxygen. Each upload, each share, each story retold does not weaken it, it fertilizes it. The screen glitches. Words dissolve into sigils that pulse faintly as though alive. A dim recording plays. It's Mia, her voice brittle, barely a whisper, as though she's speaking from a place she doesn't want to wake. I shouldn't have read the letter out loud. Words are vessels too. Jason didn't send the doll to me. He sent it to anyone who would listen. And now you've listened, you've seen. Do you understand what that means? She coughs, her voice cracking. The USB wasn't a warning. It was bait. The more who watch, the more doors it has. And we've been opening them one by one. Every laugh at its smile. Every shiver at its eye. Every moment you wonder if it could be sitting on your shelf. That's all it needs. Your attention, your fear and curiosity. It doesn't need to be in your house. It only needs to be in your mind. The dream sequence invades again. The black forest. The circle of dolls. But this time, the camera doesn't belong to Mia. It belongs to you. Second-person perspective, pulling the listener inside. The forest presses in, soundless, damp with fog. The dolls turn toward you in unison. Their mouths open, rows of teeth flashing, their chanting thick and guttural. At the center, the bound figure stirs. The chains glow faintly, straining, cracking, one sigil at a time breaking apart. It speaks without lips, without lungs. She is the key. You are the door. And the door is open. The narration turns cold, clinical, yet strangely intimate. If you are hearing this, you have already participated. You have given it your attention. You have pictured it. You have let its form take root in your imagination. That is the first stage. You will dream soon. Not all at once. Not every night. But eventually you will find yourself in the forest. you will see the circle, and the circle will see you. If you have any Labubu in your home, check it tonight. Hold it to the light. If one eye is darker than the other, it has already begun. Burn it. Scatter the ashes in running water. And do not, under any circumstance, let it watch you sleep. The footage glitches again. We see the toy store in Seoul, but then another location. A thrift shop in London. A flea market in Sao Paulo. A shipping depot in California. Packages, identical and all wax sealed. The inverted triskelion stamped across them. The packages move. They multiply. And then the video cuts again. You see a desk. It's your desk. A package sits there. The same wax. The same seal. The narration drops to a whisper, pressing directly into your ear. It already knows where you are. Mia appears one last time, gaunt, eyes sunken, lips cracked as though she hasn't slept in weeks. I thought I could resist it. I thought knowledge was enough. But knowledge is an invitation. Study is worship. I'm not recording this for views. Not anymore. I'm recording this because I can feel it inside me. When it smiles, I smile back. When it breathes, I can hear it in my lungs. I don't know if I'm Mia anymore, or if I'm just another package waiting to be mailed. She leans close, her face filling the frame, her one visible eye reflecting something that doesn't look entirely human. If you're still you, run. Delete this. Burn this. Forget this. Because the more you remember it, the closer it gets. And it's already at your door. Black screen. Silence. Then faint scratching. A slow, deliberate tearing sound as though paper being ripped open. The whisper returns, layered with a chorus of Jason's voice, Mia's voice, and hundreds of others. Male, female, child, old, merged into one. We see you. The screen glitches with a faux YouTube outro. Likes, comments, recommendations. But the comment section is filled only with the same repeated line dozens, hundreds of times. Check the bass. The video ends. But the silence in your room feels different now. Much thicker. And for the briefest moment, you could swear you heard something breathing behind you. Thank you so much for making to the end of this story. If you don't, would you please leave a like as it helped get this video shown to more horror fans. Thank you. And please consider subscribing, that way you will never miss a good nighttime horror story.
Ready for spine-chilling tales that will haunt your thoughts. Subscribe to Forgotten Storyteller for eerie narrations, unsettling mysteries, and haunting stories you won't forget. Hit the bell icon so you never miss a story, because some stories refuse to stay buried. Join us, if you dare.